The HeadCell Stacked Tray Grit Separator from Hydro International. The HeadCell is a highly efficient vortex separator that can be sized for removal of various sized grit particles. The HeadCell is typically sized to remove 95% of all grit 106 micron and larger at peak flow, and 95% of all grit 75 micron and larger at average flow. This results in overall removal of 85 to 95% of all grit entering a wastewater treatment plant. Conventional technologies, such as aerated grit chambers and mechanically induced vortex tanks, typically remove only 30 to 50% of influent grit. Downstream of influent screening, flow enters via an inlet duct that distributes the flow equally between the trays. Grit has a very short distance to settle onto each of the sloped trays. The grit then falls from the tray through a common center hole to the grit sump at the bottom of the tray stack. From the grit sump, captured grit is pumped to a washing and dewatering system. With up to 12 trays in a single unit, even flow distribution and a low surface overflow rate allows for capture of fine and slow settling grit particles. A return baffle on each tray protects incoming grit from the exiting degritted effluent. Flow exits between the trays into the surrounding basin, where it rises to exit over a fixed weir which sits above the top tray. The system is all hydraulic with no mechanical components in the basin, making it very easy to operate and maintain. The HeadCell is capable of handling a wide turn-down ratio between peak and average flow. The HeadCell's unique design eliminates the need for long influent and effluent channels, which delivers significant space savings over mechanically induced vortex units. The system is available in 4 different diameter trays. The HeadCell can be supplied in stacks ranging from 2 to 12 trays. The system is all hydraulic with no mechanical components in the basin, making it very easy to operate and maintain. By stacking the trays, a significant amount of surface area can be supplied in a very small footprint. Typically sized for peak flow and peak grit load, it has been used on new collection systems and combined sewer systems alike. The HeadCell can be retrofitted into existing tanks, such as aerated grit chambers, potentially saving space and construction costs. The HeadCell is now listed in both the Water Environment Federation's Manual of Practice No. 8 and Medcaf and Eddy. The system has been used in plants ranging in flows from less than 1 million gallons per day to over 350 million gallons per day. The HeadCell has been performance tested by independent third parties, confirming its ability to achieve stated performance. The HeadCell is the only grit separation technology on the market independently proven to achieve 95% removal of all grit 106 micron and larger, and 95% removal of all grit 75 micron and larger. We stated earlier that conventional grit systems generally remove 30 to 50% of grit entering a plant. Why design a process to be less than 50% effective? By improving the grit removal process from 50% to 90% efficiency, plants benefit by keeping fine bubble diffusers clear so as not to increase horsepower needed for aeration, minimizing deposition in process tanks, keeping them near their full capacity and detention time, therefore improving treatment efficiency, by reducing wear, performance, and longevity of downstream equipment such as pumps, screws, mixers, sludge processing equipment, and membranes. Over 1,000 HeadCell units have been sold and installed at over 350 locations. With its independently proven and unmatched performance, the HeadCell Advanced Grit Management System has become the industry standard for fine grit removal. We look forward to working with you on your next grit removal project. Visit hydro-int.com/HeadCell to learn more.
Here we present the energy-saving Grit King separator, the first stage of an advanced grit management system. The Grit King is an all-hydraulic grit separation device that can be designed for guaranteed removal of 95% of all grit 75 microns and larger. This system captures, cleans, and removes fine grit, abrasives, sugar sand, and high-density fixed solids to protect plants from the impacts of grit. The Grit King is available as either an in situ unit from 6 foot to 32 foot in diameter and larger for certain applications, or as a freestanding unit up to 12 feet in diameter, allowing versatility in installation. When used with a high-performance secondary washing and dewatering system, the Grit King can output grit with a minimum of 60% total solids and less than 20% volatile solids. The Grit King's internal components structure the flow, eliminating short-circuiting and creating a long flow path that increases retention time for the grit particles. This augments the natural gravitational forces and increases separation performance. Wastewater enters the unit via a tangential inlet, causing the content to rotate slowly about the vertical axis. Where the outer descending flow meets the inner rising flow, zero velocity causes grit to drop out of suspension into the grit pot. The degritted inner flow rotates and rises around the center cone and shaft into the overflow channel and out of the Grit King, ready for further treatment. The Grit King is an economical choice for new or existing municipal or industrial wastewater and river intake water applications. The ability to custom design each system allows for a wide range of flows with the ability to remove 95% of particles greater than 75 microns at the design flow rate.